Naaman Khan here for Seconds Out with me to talk the fallout of a fight against Tommy Fury that was scheduled to happen last Sunday in Dubai is Paul Bamba. Paul, I appreciate you jumping on to give us your side of the story. First of all, how are things with you?
Pretty not great, but doing the best I can to remain positive, looking for a positive outcome.
Well, can you explain to me, like, when was the earliest you knew about this situation with two contracts being given, one to yourself and then one to Tommy for this fight?
When Tommy said that his contracted weight was 81 kilograms after he jumped off the scale, even though he weighed in at 82.3 kilograms, I was like, what? He's like, that's what my contract says. And I was confused because in order for him to have a contract that's legally binding, I myself would have had to sign it and sign off on it and agree to it, because that's the way that contracts work. It's like when you buy a house for $1 million, the owner can't say, "Hey, all of a sudden it's $1.5 million. You owe me 500 grand." So that's where the confusion came in. I'm not really sure what's going on. It seems to be getting a whole lot messier as time goes on.
Mm.
Um, yeah, the data weigh in. Tommy jumped on the scale. He's 82.3 kilograms. My coach says, "Hey, he's overweight," to the commission. Commission hands Tommy a bottle of water. Tommy starts drinking the water. He says, "My weight was 81 kilograms." Even still, he's still overweight, but I'm like, your weight wasn't 81 kilograms because I have the contract, which I can share with you as well. And both our names, it says Musk Ackley 79.3, blah, 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 whatever makes the 175 pound weight limit. I'm bad at math. And I was just pure confusion. And then I asked for a copy of his contract. They wouldn't give it to me, which I should also be entitled to. I know the general public, it's a contract between two fighters. Both fighters, last time I checked, signed the contract. You know what I mean? I wasn't afforded a copy of it. They said it was my fault for not following up.
As far as we're aware, you and John Fury were negotiating back and forth. What requests were you making, and what were those talks like with John to get the fight going?
The I didn't make any requests with John. He more so was just trying to make it right. He understood. He didn't acknowledge that whose fault it was for the contracts. He just said he knows it's a mess, and he said, "Hey, look, neither of us get paid if you guys don't fight. Um, what can we do?" I said, "Hey, you have a son, so you offer me what you think is right for the risk." Um, they called the fight off. John and I had come to an agreement. He told me to go call my team. He had offered me pretty much 100 grand on top of what they offered me to fight his son. I was like, all right, I still got to call my lawyer. Still need a contract because at this point I'm not taking anybody's word. Why in my right mind would I take anybody's word with all this stuff going on? Like, yeah, we'll pay you after the fight. Like, no, I need it on paper, right? And Imran came over. He placed his hand, wouldn't place my hand, sorry, pretty much pushed me in my chest and told me to fuck off, that the fight was completely off, verbatim, that it's pulled, it's done. John looked at him. He was trying to fix it. He wanted to make it work. Imran and Uday both said no. And then they pretty much got in their roles and what? At that point, I started talking to journalists. You pulled me off the card. I have no more obligation to you. I started sharing my story. They're now saying that, excuse me, sorry. They're now saying that I was in breach of contract, but there's no disparage clause or anything like that in my contract. It's very black and white, and it wasn't meant to suit me at all. And if you pulled me off the card, how is my contract still binding who I can talk to anyway?
Mm.
I no longer have a contract. You pulled me off of the card. And I never said that the fight was off due to my own doing. I said I was pulled off the card, so the fight was off. Not that, hey, I'm deciding the fight is off. I didn't want the fight to be off. I just wanted to be compensated fairly. And John was trying to get that done so that way he didn't end up having to fight a last minute opponent and have a shit show for a fight and then Tommy ended up looking exactly how John said he would. It ended up looking foolish because they had a little exhibition match, and there was no real intent in there for anybody to try to do anything but just fill in space and try to collect the check.
Paul, Tommy put out his own video where he kind of gave his side of the story on social media. He said that he made his weight stipulated on his side of the contract. What was your reaction to seeing that? And also, there was a feeling that you thought that this was maybe pre-planned too.
I do feel like it's pre-planned. And again, you can't have a contract for something of this magnitude for a fight. And then how would I have not signed off on that? How do you have an executed agreement with me stating that we're doing this if I never saw the contract, if I never got it? If you revise a contract, I think not even just boxing and any sort of agreement in the world, whether it's a car, a loan, or anything, you revise something, the opposing side or the opposite side or the buyer or what have you, they need to see it and agree to it. That never happened. So because they won't show me the original contract where it said this, it leads me to believe that it's all BS. There's also this guy K-Do that was involved. He also does a lot of fights. He was very mixy. He was able to see Tommy's contract and my contract. So he should have alerted and due diligence and safety of fighters. Like, they did not care. They were there to throw a show and look cool. I have text from Uday saying that I'm the promoter of a multi-fight, not your mommy, that I was being a bitch about a few extra pounds. Is like 7 pounds is not a few pounds. Even John understood where I was coming. 7 pounds is a weight class, you know? It's an entire weight class. Had I been offered the fight at cruiserweight, maybe I would have took it, not for the same stuff I was offered, but at least, at the very least, I would have been aware of it 8 weeks and been able to train for it. I was not aware of it. That's why everything's messed up. The night before, I was called by Global Titans, and or I don't even know at this point if it was if Global Titans called me because of Team Fury or if it was only because on their end, they told me if I didn't make weight, the fight would not happen. So I made sure that because I planned on coming in a pound or two heavier too, because if you look on Tommy's box rec, that man has never been under 177 pounds. So in my mind, I'm like, he's not making weight. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to make sure I'm healthy. I'm at an appropriate weight. I could weigh 176, 177 pounds. Everything will be on an equal playing field. They told me, no, that's a no-go. You make weight or fights off, we will replace you. So I made the weight. I weighed in at 79.2 kilograms. And in pounds, so it was pretty much 174.6, I believe. Either way, I was under the limit. I'm just, the kilograms and pounds throws me off. Sorry. So I did my thing. So for you to tell me to, and so just so the boxing fans who don't really understand what weight cutting is or anything like that, when you cut weight and you pull water from your body, you're not just pulling it from your stomach, your arms, or anything. Water surrounds your brain, right? And when you're pulling weight and you're forcing it, you get to just say, only pull the water from my legs or my stomach. You don't spot reduce water, just like you can't spot reduce fat. It comes out of everything. So for me to take a fight with somebody that was 7 pounds over that didn't bother to cut weight and didn't even try to sort it out before they tried to rehydrate or started rehydrating, it's like a setup. My coach had told me it wasn't good to fight. The rest of my team had told me, like, no, don't do it unless you're compensated and we find out how much he rehydrates to. Tommy was about 203 pounds the night of the fight. I'm not a heavyweight. And I know for a fact that if they offer me the fight at heavyweight, none of you guys would know who I am because I would have said absolutely not. I'm not a heavyweight. There's boxing classes for that. maybe I'll just challenge Tyson to a fight and get paid way more than maybe want to probably knock, so I'll get killed. You know, like there's weight classes for a reason. Um, so it's all just very disheartening in the way I'm being treated and the canceling of flights and hotels and then being threatened and then having hands put on me. This guy Imran also, and there's tons of people that saw that he did this. Like the other fighters saw that he did this as well, and a lot of people from Global Titans. Like I know Harley asked me if I was okay after it happened. He pointed in my face in the dining hall and yelled at me to get the fuck out verbatim and like kicked me out the lobby all because I said I was being treated unfairly. And I asked them not to put their hands in my face. And this was the day before all the real drama happened on fight day. This was the day of the weigh-in. So I don't understand any of it. This is boxing has always been a bit mixy, and whoever has the bigger name always gets treated better. And I know that's part of the game. And I was cool with that. Like I said, well, I'm not a dog. I never have been. I don't bend at the knee for anybody. I'm a very quiet person. I'm very respectable. I'm huge on integrity, but nobody's going to put their hands on me and nobody's going to tell me that I have to do something because it's the best opportunity of my life. Life's not over yet, so I'm entirely certain there'll be other great opportunities. And it's just, it, this whole thing's so surreal to me and in like the worst of ways. It doesn't make any sense to me.
We'll touch on a couple of other things in a moment, but I just want to make clear there were some whispers that you had requested after the weigh-in that maybe Tommy dropped 3 pounds, the rehydration clause in place. Can you just make clear of any requests you did make, if there were any?
I have no idea about Tommy dropping 3 pounds. I didn't ask that. I said he should make weight, but he immediately began drinking water, so I couldn't, in my right mind, that was the question. My coach said he needs to make weight or they need to pay. Um, and then we need to know how much he's weighing in the following day because it became a safety concern. At this point, we all realized, like, hey, you're being set up. So we need to make sure that it's not going to be an even playing field. I was still pretty much game for the opportunity because, like I told everybody, I would have took this fight for 10 grand. Like the opportunity alone and knowing that it was on an even playing field, or at least believing that it was on an even playing field in the beginning, I would have took the fight for 10 grand. Because it's like I beat this man and then my life changes. That's cool. And Tommy is extremely beatable, as he has shown every single fight that he has, where in all 8 fights in one exhibition that he had, no one tries to fight him ever. He has one fight where someone came forward just a bit, but they were very one-dimensional, and he struggled with that person. And I have a way better record than that person, and I've have way better boxing. Not like my boxing IQ and my ring generalship is way better than that person. So to me, it's crazy. Yeah, we asked them to make weight. We asked if, hey, how much will you rehydrate to? They didn't want to tell us.
Yeah. Paul, how much have you put into this? And I don't mean just financially, I mean emotionally as well. Like, but I mean, as a boxer, you have to put things in
Everything,
financially too. Go on, Paul.
everything, every like piece of me, everybody that everybody that knows me, like I don't ever have abs, like not even sometimes when I fight. Like I did everything. I'll share it later. I'll send you my schedule. I went back to like Marine Corps style, where I had reveille at 4 in the morning. I was out the house by 4:30. I was in bed by 8:30 every night for 8 weeks. I had, so I don't know what just happened. I had I had naps scheduled, meal times. Like I had recreation time for like an hour, like 8 months a day. I literally everything was boxing related. I gave up my entire life because I'm like, all I got to do is beat this guy. I can beat this guy. It's it's literally for me. It's meant for me. Everything. And then as far as financially, I'm almost at 35 grand now that I've had to buy other flights and do all this other stuff. And it was fine because one of the guys from my gym, Louis Aries, because I didn't want to get a strength and conditioning coach because they're pretty expensive back home. He's like, yo, you need to do it. He's like, you don't need to make money this fight. What you need to do this fight is invest everything you have. You can beat this kid, spend the money now, reap the reward later. So I had a nutritionist. I had he's a great nutritionist, Tyler Minton. He does a lot of stuff. He made my weight cut and everything like way a lot better. Like I packed on muscle. I did everything I was supposed to do. I invested everything. I had my team investing their time. I like in time you can't get back. And like I just pictured my life being so much different after like today I should be like floating in ecstasy from winning, like that feeling like endorphins just piling up and instead I'm fucking depressed. Like it's just terrible. I've It's just real shitty, man.
Paul, with all this, how do you expect the situation to play out and resolve itself? What's the course in your mind that will take to get the situation resolved?
You want to be honest?
Sure, yeah.
I I think that just fucked and forgotten at this point. Like it's just I know people sympathize, but at the end of the day, I don't have any popularity to my name. People might be well wishing me, but not enough people are really getting behind the story for it to really cause any like real traction. So at the end of the day, there's not really too much I can do legally. They're in Dubai. I'm from like America. Like a legal battle will take months and months, and if they don't want to pay me and they don't want to go about the right way, they have enough money to drag it out for years. Um, I don't think anything good of it comes for me. I'm starting to get really I'm trying not to be negative, but like I just I don't even know anymore, man.
And I appreciate your.
I did everything right. Like I I did everything right. So I just don't understand why there are so many convenient mix-ups or anything of that nature. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And and as far as Tommy saying what he said about him making his weight, he also said he was a light heavyweight. He also said he was a professional. Light heavyweights don't weigh in at 182 pounds. That's a cruiserweight. So either he doesn't know boxing, and that just proves the fact that he's a YouTube boxer and a reality TV star because he's good at the scripted TV stuff. And I'm not that good at speaking like that, like he is. Like so, he has the face, he has the name. Like what really can I do? I'm hoping more people can get behind. Um, maybe Tommy steps up and his team step up and do the right thing and fight me and make everything right, and we silence everything. He beats me, I shut up, I go away. I beat him. I'll probably have to rematch him after I beat him. I'll beat him twice. That's fine. But for me, it's starting to seem like it's not really going to go my way. It feels like that they have too much influence, too much money, and I'm just Paul Bamba. Yeah.
Well, appreciate you being honest there with your thoughts on it. You said you're still open to fighting Tommy? Do you think you
Yeah.
can get that fight?
Um, I know I'm going to be campaigning for it very openly. I don't think he ever wanted to fight me. I think like I said, when people want to do stuff, it's not a bare knuckle fight. It's not like I want to fight you. Let's go outside right now. That's a street fight. We're boxing. It's a sanctioned sport, bro. So if you wanted to fight me, you would have made sure we were in the right weight class, or you would have made sure that the paperwork made sense to where the fight could actually go on. I think that I scared the crap out of him at the open workout by standing up to him, and my energy threw him off. And that's why he was flustered and confused as to what days we were fighting. And he didn't really know what to do, excuse me. And I think because I got in his head that he realized that someone was actually coming to bring it to him this time and not just lay down like they normally do. And for those reasons, I believe that he's going to run scared for me forever and just try to play it off like I'm over that. I'm on to bigger and better things. No, I'm not chasing Jake Paul, but hey, I bring him up every time I speak. You know, he's going to do that sort of thing. And like I said, he has the influence, the money, the big brother, and there's not really much I can do besides keep it honest and keep trying to be vocal about what happened. But time kills all deals, so I don't really know. But yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm in England right now, trying to make stuff happen, shake stuff up. I'd be happy to fight him. I think that if he's a real man, I should get an offer very soon. Let me be that backup up and let me be your backup opponent because supposedly he's fighting Jake Paul. If you're not fighting Jake Paul in February, let me come to England and give you the business, you know, or fight another person that's not going to fight you. Because him trying to, they did everything right. Like they replaced me with a guy that was 15-1 and much more dangerous than me. But was he really? Because Rolly would have killed Tommy if he actually fought him. And they're both technically in the same weight class via weight. Rolly's under the heavyweight weight, and Tommy's over light heavyweight, which would make him a cruiserweight. They could have made it a fight. They didn't. It's everything's made to look that make that man look good, and I wasn't gonna lay down, and that's why they're not fighting me.
Whilst we're getting your side, of the story, you've been vocal, like you mentioned, online, and it seems that at least maybe you can take some comfort from the likes of KSIs and people like that who seem to be listening to what you're saying and reacting to that too. In when you put your story out.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I've always known I have integrity, so I don't, not to be rude to the people that have been on my side about it and giving me the well wishes, but I don't care if the rest of the world knows I have integrity. I care if this wrong is turned into a right, like if it's righted, you know, like that's what I care about. I know I have integrity, so for everybody praising me on it, like thank you, but I really just I was robbed. I was robbed of time, opportunity. This might sound a little stupid, but I really miss my dog. I've been away from home for so long. Like I I don't know, man. It's just really it just sucks. That's all.
Paul, that's the end of the questions I have. Is there anything that you want to say that I haven't touched on that you want to let people know? And also for people who want to follow the story further, where can they find you on social media?
On social media, you can find me on at Bamba Juice. My last name Bamba Juice, all one word. And on Twitter, more updates for everything. At Paul Labamba. And I don't know which fan helped me with that nickname for Twitter, but if you're watching this, thank you, because that was actually pretty clever. You guys can follow me there, and yeah, like I said, my hopes are just that they do the right thing and they make the fight happen, and just not in Dubai. I don't want to go back to Dubai. I think that the way everything was handled and people were treated was just not good. At the end of the day, we might be fighters, entertainers, but we're all like people, and at the very least, like minimally, like just be treated like human beings. Like the promotion, there were so many things wrong with the way they handled things. From we were only allowed like 2 meals a day, and like normally you have per diems and stuff like this. Like, it was just very bare minimum treatment from a company that was so big on being vocal about how big their financial backing was. They were cutting costs in the wrong areas. Like, you want to treat your fighters good so they want to come back. I know for a fact that Jake Paul is never going to do business with Global Titans. So for them to say that they're going to have him on another card or anything, it's BS. So like I said, like the whole thing with John saying that they have a fight with Jake Paul, unless Jake Paul is saying that, they don't. And also they're trying to take away the heat from what I'm trying to bring right now. Because if the general public can get a fight with Jake Paul, why would they care about how I was treated? At the end of the day, everybody would be getting what they want if Tommy's actually going to end up fighting him, right? So it's just trying to take away from the traction that I've been building and all that. But it's cool, I guess. Like I said, like it doesn't pay to be honest anymore in the world. It pays to be popular, and I'm not popular, so here we are.
Well, Paul, thank you for giving me some of your time. I appreciate you speaking to me with everything that's going on. We'll hopefully catch up soon and get some more thoughts from you as things progress.
Thank you for your time as well. I truly appreciate it.